He's been one of India's foremost diplomats. He was our last ambassador to the United States. Taranjit Singh Sandhu has since taken the plunge into politics. He's joined the BJP contesting these elections from Amritsar. A fascinating ex-bureaucrat and now political leader. Thanks very much, sir, for being with us. You've been a bureaucrat your entire career for several decades. At what stage did you want to take the plunge into politics?
I think, Vishnu, perhaps, I don't know about the profile, but I was a diplomat who delivered. So I did not plan in joining politics per se, but I think this is an extension of public service. 36 years of public service as a diplomat, and this is one of the platforms to do that public service. And I found that if that is necessary, I want to do something for my home city, Amritsar. You know, Amritsar at the independence, even in 60s and 70s, was one of the top 10 cities of India. And today, you have to just go around and see. So I felt that politics will be a platform. And in a sense, having worked last 10 years with Prime Minister Modi and seeing his focus on development encouraged me and inspired me to join politics.
So why are you doing this? Is it for Amritsar itself, or are you looking ultimately for a ministerial berth? And what would that be?
I think, Vishnu, my focus is a lot can be done for my home city of Amritsar. Generation of incomes in industry, commerce, agriculture, and even in tourism. You may be a bit surprised that we have about 1.5 lakh visitors every day. If we can convert them into tourists, meaning they should come here and stay at least 2 or 3 days. And that's very possible because Amritsar is blessed with Darbar Sahib, we have Durgana Mandir, we have Ram Tirath, we have Jallianwala Bagh, we also have the Atari Wagah border. And there are beautiful palaces of Ranjit Singh, etc., which can be worked upon.
I wanted to speak to you a little bit about India as a strong international power. Is that something that resonates with people in India's election trail?
Yes, in a sense. Look, the strong India is something which everybody is focusing on. It is true. It's a reflection of your strength at home, which transforms into your ability to operate in international situations. So you can see how India has been an important player, whether it's G20, whether it's United Nations, or even the disputes which are going around. But one very critical aspect which I want to underline and which I saw as India's ambassador to United States is that foreign policy today is also focused on development. So the investments which have come in, for example, from United States into India are very development oriented. They are creating jobs. So you know that some of the well-known, whether it's First Solar investing in solar energy or Micron going into semiconductors or Google, Microsoft, many of these, the cell phone companies, you know, I can name a whole lot of, even you look at the LCA engines, the famous GE deal, you know, the engines are going to be produced in India and then these planes can be exported outside. So all those are creating jobs or will create jobs. So that's why the foreign policy is touching the people. That's an important part.
India as a nation has options. We are non-aligned. How does that tie in with the narrative of India being a strong nation, that we have choices and are therefore non-aligned?
Vishnu, if you wish to use the term non-aligned, I have no problem with that. But I will say that our foreign policy is very open-eyed and it's based on interests of India itself, which it should be. And that's where I said that India's profile increasing, its strength increasing, makes it an important player in international committee of nations where you bring in value and there's all round respect for it.
Now, you have a strong family link. Your family has been credited with building iconic institutions. They've been involved in the freedom struggle. Being the grandson of Taranjit Singh Sandhu, a promoter of Sikh religious and social reforms. How have social causes been very much a part of your upbringing?
Yes, and that has deeply influenced me. Amritsar is very much my hometown. You mentioned about my grandfather, Sardar Taranjit Singh Sandhu. He was a famous, legendary freedom struggle and Akali leader way back in 1910s and 20s. In fact, he died in 1926 in Lahore jail while he was in British custody. And the first SGPC elections took place after that. I'm not much into detail, but his sacrifice was honored by the SGPC and the community at that time. And the only building within the Darbar Sahib complex, which is named after a non-guru, is Taranjit Singh Sandhu Hall, which is headquarters of SGPC. Interestingly, a little known fact is that he also established 4 schools, 2 in Samundri in Pakistan and 2 in Sarihali. They exist. And this was way back in 1917. And one of them was an exclusively girls' school. And this comes especially when he himself was only 6th class. Now, my father, Sardar Bishan Singh Samundri, studied in one of those schools and then went on to become the legendary principal of Khalsa College, Amritsar, and the founder vice chancellor of Guru Nanak Dev University. But even more interestingly, my mother, who came from rural Amritsar, went to United States in 1956, and in 2 years, in 58, she did her doctorate and came back and taught in Government College for Women, Amritsar, and later became principal. So education has been an important legacy of my family, and I feel that under the new education policy, there's a lot that needs to be done in Amritsar too.
There have, of course, been concerns, and this is a huge issue, maybe not on the ground in Punjab, but through the 80s and 90s, early 90s. The Khalistan movement was a big issue. It is now seeing support in the United States, where you were posted, in Canada, parts of the United Kingdom as well. Is that a concern for you in Punjab?
Look, I don't agree that the Khalistani movement has great support anywhere. It's a bunch of people who have basically for their own self-interest. And I will not go too much into it. I think people abroad also know. What is important is that my stint as ambassador to United States, I think it's well known, all diaspora members from different communities linked up. The events we had at India House had presence of everyone. It was multi-religious. In fact, we celebrated India's diversity on a number of occasions. Senior members of US cabinet participated. And I would say at the end of the day, when I left, the kind of farewells I got, not only from our diaspora, but also from different sections of the US administration, business, think tanks, clearly indicated to me that we were successful in getting our message across.
The Aam Aadmi Party has done very well in the last assembly elections. They are in power in Punjab. I do understand that assembly results don't translate into results in Lok Sabha elections, but do you see them as being your primary threat?
Look, I think it's a celebration of democracy in India that in the assembly elections, people gave up so much of votes. That means there was some kind of hope. But today, if you look at the situation in Punjab and particularly in Amritsar, where I'm based, you can go around and ask, nothing has been done. I think it's very important that development which is taking place in a lot of other Indian cities need to come to Amritsar. You know, we have water problem, we have sewerage problems, big ones. And incomes are going down, industry has gone down, commerce has gone down, agriculture incomes are going down. Who else should take the responsibility? But most importantly, in fact, the two major issues which are bothering people, one is law and order, and the second is drugs. Now, promises were made. One needs to see what is being done on the ground. So they need to answer the people. And I think that will be a major factor this time.
On the issue of terrorism in Pakistan and of course drugs, it is a problem in Punjab. Drug addiction is a problem, but there's also the entire concern of drugs and even weaponry being smuggled across from Pakistan using drones. The security situation along the border, the IB, is that something which is going to come up in the campaign trail for you?
Look, security is one aspect. And when you are talking of the border, of course, our forces are competent to handle that, and focus is on that, and things are being done on. However, the law and order in Amritsar, again, is something which the state government, under its constitutional obligation, needs to focus on and attend. Now, if people are receiving extortion calls, or if the kids are getting heavily into drugs, that means drugs are available. Somebody is involved in that. And I think that aspect certainly needs to be focused upon. It cannot be put under the bed.
Now, don't be a diplomat for this question. If you are assigned a ministerial portfolio, what is it that you would want to be?
I think right now my focus is on Amritsar. And for Amritsar, you will be quite surprised that a simple thing, even as connectivity, this Amritsar has an international airport, but the connectivity is rather poor. And particularly in terms of cargo, only 20% of its facility right now is being utilized. If we utilize it, there's a heavy generation of incomes we can do for our farmers, we can do for our industry, we can also increase what I told you is the visitors traffic converted into tourists. There are a number of airlines that are wanting to fly into Amritsar. So that's the potential which I'm looking at.
Right. Taranjit Singh Sandhu, thank you very much for being with us, and good luck in your jump into Indian politics.